Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 39. The news report covers some of the many investment projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report where we have plenty of news, plenty of updates, especially this particular week in here. So get your favorite beverage, get in front of the screen, and please go and have a look at the entire video here because you don't really want to miss anything for this particular week. We have updates coming out of Yieldnodes. There was a bit of a new feedback from Steve and Urt. We're going to have a closer look at that. Also, there is news which everybody is obviously waiting for. If you are following Expert Forex and Alex, the Bell trading robot has just been released. Exactly, not for everybody, but you can actually go and test it for about a week's time. This was released just a few hours before we're actually shooting this particular video here. So we're going to have a look at that in the next week, and hopefully in next week's news report, you will see the first response, and hopefully also some profits from us when we are looking at this particular robot to see what it can do. We believe that this has great potential, but other things might also have great potential this particular week. Trillant platform, we haven't heard any news from them in a long time, but there is actually a Zoom call here now with the CEO. We're going to have a look and see exactly what he is going to say about everything. There's also some information and details coming out by email. So all of it is actually being covered here today in this particular news report. Last but not least, we also have the IG demo account that crashed again somewhere around end of July, beginning of August, and then basically still had some issues, so all the way up to September in here. So as we go through the results, some of them are still a bit off, so just to warn you when we go through it. But the new couple of weeks that we have in here, they are actually correlated correctly, so that means that both last week and this week's news looks to be all okay again. They simply just haven't cleaned up the old part for about 3 or 4 weeks of trading, so it still looks a bit off. Looks like not all the profits came in, but we have plenty of profits. But first of all, we're going to start off with Yieldnodes. Now, it's been a while since we got anything out of Yieldnodes, and you would also have noticed that if you follow our news report. This particular time, this has once again come out by email in here, and we're just going to go through the details. Again, it comes up, dear Yieldnodes community, we hope this message finds you well. As always, we would like to give you an update on everything happening at Yieldnodes and what has transpired so far. So they want to get straight into it. So Yieldnodes Pro progress says, while we continue to working on Yieldnodes Pro, we are currently facing several regulatory challenges that need to be addressed before we can move forward. And navigating the legal landscape, particularly in the cryptocurrency space, takes time. Definitely, we have seen that already. Our legal team is still working to ensure our masternoding project meets all necessary compliant requirements, making it a strong and reliable opportunity for all of you. We want to reassure you that our masternoding activities remain active. Transparency is one of our key priorities, and we encourage you to regularly check for members area in Yieldnodes to view the notes and coins we manage. Also, you will be able to view the coin reserves under management in the same section. Now, this is the one that I have discussed with you before. So all the coin reserves in here, you simply click on it when you are on the Yieldnodes platform, and then you will get more details. Now, the email continues here. So the path to recovery, the significant part of the recovery will depend on the community support. While many factors influence coins value, we believe that a positive community plays a crucial role. We humbly ask for your patience and ongoing support as we work through this. We understand that this journey has been long and challenging, but we are laying the foundation for something strong and lasting. Some of these wordings, definitely we have seen and heard this once before, and obviously it is a bit of a word salad that unfortunately doesn't really promise any timelines or deadlines here. It goes on with the chain analysis lawsuit in here. That says, again, many of you are aware that we are taking legal action against chain analysis due to the disruption that has affected the business, contributing to the decline in the coin values. For those interested in following the case, we've included a link below. We remain optimistic and hope for a fair resolution soon. And obviously these things can take tons of years, if not decades sometimes. They go on here also for the NFT support. On the NFT side, most issues have been resolved. However, we understand that some of you are still experiencing problems with missing or unissued NFTs. To address this, we've set up a direct ticket system to assist you with these concerns and ensure that all records are accurate. You can find the support email below for a faster response. Again, so have a look at that particular email, support/NFTS, and then at yieldnodes.com. You'll find more details in here. Last but not least, they're saying again here, patience and trust. We know we're asking a lot in terms of patience and resilience, but please understand that we are privately funding Yieldnodes operations ourselves. It is in our best interest to run as effectively as possible. As the saying goes, trust is built with consistency. I'm not aware of that particular one, I must say. We remain committed to delivering on the promises, but it will take time. And then thank you sincerely for your continued support. We look forward to updating you again soon. So again, I don't really see any news, updates or information other than simply just a lot of hot air, unfortunately, and no timelines, deadlines in sight. So let's go on. Let's go and have a look at the SAP and see exactly if this has resulted in any changes. And as you can see, we left it here last week. So again, pretty much in the same area. We are up to about 7 zeros in here and a 3. And that has pretty much been stable all the way through. 2 is down here, 4 is up here. So again, it's moving in a very small area, pretty much sideways all the way through. So doesn't look like anything is going to change just for that particular email and update. Now we're going to go to our staking because at least something is always happening here. On the SAP part, we did have 1 of 280 SAP coming in. Sorry, we didn't know that was on the 22nd in here. So that's been actually quite a while now since we got an update last time. And since this is also the end of September, it doesn't look like we're going to go any higher. So we'll be on the same level as February, March and April in here overall. So which is obviously a bit of a bummer. But again, we do get a bit every single month. Now, if we have at the PNY, this looks actually quite much better than the SAP. At the moment, we had something coming in on the 27th and 29th of September. And that also, again, takes September up to the high end overall. And if we have a closer look and see how much that was, it was 1.2% or 266 PNY for the particular week, which is obviously very nice development. And normally, I would say somewhere around the average number. Now, on Bitcoin versus USDT, last week when we left Bitcoin at 63,500. Since then, it was trading sideways for a bit, a few days. And after that, again, it has now reached a new high, basically going up to 66,000. And then from there on, it is currently dropped a bit again and now trading at 64,590. So again, it is still at a good high for Bitcoin overall, especially for the ones that are actually also holding on to it at the moment. Now, I did tell you about the Trillant news. And not only was there Zoom, but there's actually also an email. So we're going to have a closer look at that. And basically, this is part of the email coming out here. Are you ready for the long-awaited update? Well, we've seen a few updates before and didn't really solve anything in here. But anyway, this is not the end, but possibly the beginning of a new chapter. Again, this has also been mentioned before. And unfortunately, from the Paribas parts, when it went over to Trillant, it's pretty much been just downhill all the way through. Now, it says it is very important to pay attention to this information because every user has an important decision to make. Once again, they also had that last time, which is more than a year ago. There will be a big chance, and everyone who sticks in now and reap the rewards of this transformation. So sounds like, once again, we have to put money in this. Let's see how that's actually going to go. The time for hesitation is over. Progress doesn't wait. It belongs to the brave. Again, these basically terms doesn't mean nothing in here unless it's backed up. So the next milestone was now the Zoom call that we talked about with the CEO. And it says here we are now entering the next phase with details, plans, and the next step straight forward, straight from the horse's mouth. We look forward to announcing the Trillant live call very soon. The details will come basically end of this week and in the next newsletter. And the last part in here says it's time to act, time for transformation, time for the future. Take the chance to be part of this milestone live. And obviously, yes, we will, of course. But again, this is only words. It doesn't really mean anything unless there's backup behind it. And then it says in here, have you done your homework? So now only those who are ready count. The first step, check your KYC data in the back office. Anyone who has not yet done this should do this urgently. So obviously we make sure that you do that. So log into your platform if you are part of the Trillant, and then make sure that all these steps are done. We have done this, and that also means that you will be ready for the Zoom call in here. You can see this is set up for the 1st of October this particular year. Time, Central European Time, is 20:00, so that is 8 o'clock in the evening, and PM Eastern Standard Time over here, so 2 p.m. that is the time. Be there live when the future is unrevealed, and then we'll get some exclusive insights and details, so from the CEO itself. Obviously we're looking forward to this. Now, as the coinstore.com has the tree coin in here, which is the one that fluctuates, not the one that we are staking with Trillant, you can see that the news coming out of it looks actually in a positive direction, unlike what we saw on the SAP and PNY coins in here. So overall, the coin store here, last time we had it down at point and then 4 zeros, 953. We're back to the 0.3 zeros now with 1531. So a good development overall, of course, and hopefully there seems to be a bit of positive vibes coming in from some of the guys that are using these particular coins in here. We have basically gone up about 50%. So that is a good development, but still we are a long way from where we used to be. Now, if we go to our EAs and the Trade Explorer, that one normally cashes in quite nicely. And this week has been no differently. The 10 pair one did $332 or 3.3%. So definitely very strong as usual. We also are getting all the way up to 38,882 in here. Floating profit and loss at the moment is only minus 149. So all these heavy drawdowns that we saw now a couple of weeks ago, they have been forgotten. Total return 244. And again, you can see on the graph, this is the IG demo account issue, simply flat because there was no information or details at all. But details on history of 504 days are still in here, and obviously very impressive overall. Weekly, monthly returns, as we said before, we are never changing the lot size. We are not ramping it up based on the money we have in here. It stays the same all the way through. And if we have a look at this week's numbers, 332, as we said, and that's slightly better than the week before with 318. And then we were very low in the beginning of September with 181. But these particular weeks in here gets a bit uncertain in between August, basically end of July, and then for the month of August, IG demo accounts, the account settings and history is not exactly 100%. However, the Wave Liberator definitely delivers 100%. The week 39 in here for the top 5 EAs. Swiss francs Japanese is one of the two currency pairs that you'll see again and again. And the top one was 136 and 13.6%. We have another here with the Aussie Japanese. So again, the Japanese on top with $113 or 11.3%. New Zealand Swiss francs. So now the Swiss francs is taking over, as you can see, $84, 8.4%. USD, and then again Swiss francs, $70 or 7%. And then Euro Swiss francs, once again, 4 times in this particular top 5, $66 or 6.6%. So that has definitely been on the move here for the last many weeks. Total for those top 5, $470 in 1 week or 9.4%. And that is definitely very good numbers. We can see that the overall portfolio in here, as you'll notice, so this did quite well. Then we actually had a peak, and this is where the Forex market went crazy. The flat part again is IG demo accounts that are not tracking this correctly, unfortunately. But it looks like this is now moving in the right direction. Balance of 250,000 with a floating profit of loss at the moment of minus 8,178. So definitely well under control. Plenty of close profits, 26,555. And if we have a look at the total returns, 14.6%, monthly returns 1.2, weekly returns 0.3, and you can obviously add this one up. So you can times it by 5, times it by 10, depends on how much you want to have in there. But if we go to a $1,000 account, this would be monthly returns of 12%, weekly returns of 3. Trade wins are good, 67.5% with a history of 408 days. So very, very solid. And you can find all the details in here for the individual currency pairs. If you saw the top 5, you simply go in and click the individual ones to see which ones are doing well. If these ones are actually some of the ones that you want to try and trade yourself, or you can go on the copy link service in here. You can find more details, of course, always on the website. And it will give you some of the details also for the graphs that we saw here before. Flat part again, IG demo accounts trouble, history 408 days. And then when we look at this week's results, we are up 937. So that is better than the past couple of weeks. So 745, 747. So all of them did actually quite well overall. And moving on to the RSI Liberator for week 39 in here, the top 5. Again, you'll notice the Swiss francs is in here, but not as much. And the same with the Japanese, but Euro Swiss francs is on top. $88, 8.8%, so good solid. And then the rest comes right after each other, so very similar profits. Also New Zealand, $69 or 6.9%. Great British Pounds, Japanese, $67 or 6.7%. Euro USD, $64, 6.4%. And Aussie USD in here with $64 and 6.4%. Again, these top 5 actually managed $352 in just week 39, which is 7% overall. Good and solid results as always from the RSI Liberator 2. And if we have a look at the portfolio, you can also see here, very nice development, very nice graph. Unfortunately, again here, ID demo account is breaking this up a bit, unfortunately, but the balance is good, 234,000. We have basically 22 accounts of 10,000. So we started off with 222. Floating profit at the moment is minus 9,619, so slightly higher than the Wave Liberator. But equity is still up, so 225,000. It's going in the right direction. Total returns 1.9 because we don't have so many days in here. You can see 177 days is there. But monthly returns are still good, 1% and 0.2 down here. We believe that, again, these numbers is a bit off because of the IG account issues. But anyway, if you, again, return this into $1,000 accounts, it's 10% per month and a bit over 2% per week. Again, also on the website, you'll find the same setup in here, individual currency pairs you can click on. And when you click on those particular ones, you will have this particular graph. You see the flat section again here where the data didn't come in. And you'll also see it over on here on this particular side. You'll see that there is some numbers coming in. So from even early August for this particular EA, but the numbers are very incorrect, as you'll see. There's one at 287, and when you look at the rest of them, also here 45, 104. So a lot of the profits is actually missing. The last couple of weeks seems to be okay, so 406, 651, and now the profit is up again, 859. So looks extremely good and promising, obviously, for the future for this particular EA. Now you can find a lot more details on the Wave Liberator and the RSI Liberator. This is where you go in and read more about it. There's videos in there too. But we want to go on the PAMM account to see exactly how that has developed in the past week, because there's good news also for that particular one. This is the graph, what it looks like at the moment. Again, this has nothing to do with IG demo because this runs on the Black Bull account. This is simply investors taking money out, 50, 60,000, as I mentioned quite a few times. You'll see that all the way back in April. You'll also see that here again in August. And then you'll see that because of the volatile markets here, we dialed everything down quite a bit. And that's also why we have quite low profits. That has come up again here as we are normally tweaking to the markets. We are making setting changes. So last week we ended up with $4,696. This week is even better, $4,937. So definitely going in the right direction again. Now also we are having a look, because Expert Forex, there is a few PAMM accounts in here that we normally compare ourselves with. Up here you have the current account balance for all the PAMM accounts, 583. So it's going in the right direction, up. Also the gains, 135,000, and everything else here. Now our account is down here. Age is 208 days, but as you see, this one here is a few days behind with the updates. But let's use this particular numbers anyway. Current account balance, ours is up to 285. We've actually surpassed that. And also the gains here, 77. I believe we're somewhere in the 80s by now. Gains on average is 23.3. Ours is actually 27.3. Seems to be going up. This week certainly also helps a lot. We have a bit of a drawdown, and when we look at the percentage in here, so the average is actually 30.6. Ours is slightly higher, 35.6 in here. So, and then projected growth looks to be 47, which again we mentioned it is a bit low, because that projection in here also has an influence when the investors are actually removing the money. Now we saw a couple of accounts here. This is from the Algo Trader that's in. Looks to be in a bit of a trouble. They are doing quite well when it comes to gains. They're actually doing quite well, a few percentage points better than what we had in here. But look at the drawdowns. So they are getting to be a bit scary. So 58% and 62, very, very high. It does have a better projected annual growth, but as I said, some of these numbers, if people are not taking money out, they will also be a lot better. We can see that the times that people have been trying to take money out, this particular runs down again, because when the investor takes the money out, they also take the profit away, and that's recalculating everything, unfortunately, to a lower value. Now you can find a lot more details as usual, as we mentioned, on the portfolio in here for all our EAs, but we want to have a closer look at the Lucky Trader that we're still testing in here. This is very much a random one, so if you click on that particular one, you will go and see the Lucky Trader for week 39, the top 5 EAs in here. You have New Zealand US dollars with $473 or 4.7%. We have the Euro USD with $223 or 2.2%. Euro Great British Pounds, 211 or 2.1%. And then Euro Swiss francs, again, it has a bit of a loss at the moment. We made some adjustments, so hopefully that'll go away with minus $33 or 0.3% in minus. Overall here for those top 5, which is only actually 4 available at the moment, is $874 or 2.2%. Now these are running on $10,000 accounts, all of them. That's also why you see the balance is 48. Equity is actually 45. Floating profit and loss minus 3,481. So the ones that are running are actually running pretty okay. Total returns 12.9%. Monthly returns is calculated at the moment at 5.1. Weekly returns 1.2. So again here looking okay with an account history of 104 days. And if we have a closer look, we will see in here that last week we actually made 1,065. The week past that, 750. And now this week we are up 874. So also here, very nice graph going in the right direction overall. Now I did promise you that we're going to have a look at this new EA, this new robot that is actually already out here. So this is the Bell Trader, and this is what Alex's video is all about. So test the new $1 million trading robot for a week. It is a limited time offer. And as I mentioned here before, you have to be a premium forum member in Expert Forex in order to join in here. That is the only way. But this money is well given out. There's a lot of training and other information also that you get access to at the same time. And the second video that Alex actually made this week is further to the grid trading explanations on the charts with some gains in here. And this particular EA that he is discussing is actually an old EA that he has been dusting off and trying out again. with new concepts in here. So definitely also worth having a look at. So this is what we had for you in this week's news report. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give us a thumbs up, a comment, and a like. And obviously, we're going to follow especially the Bell Trading EA in here. So you will be able to see that later on. We will add it also to our website itself. But also here, again, interesting to see what's going to happen on some of the platforms here regarding Yieldnodes. That is still very much up in the air and no real dates or commitments of dates in here for 2024, but it looks to be like something is coming out of Trillant. Let's see exactly what the CEO is going to say about all this. Obviously, we're going to follow up on this, and if you are tuning in next week again for this particular news report, we will try and give you the best update possible and also our spin on this particular thing. So until my next video, I'll see you around. Bye bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.